Sports. I'm John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Ronnie Vickers is producing the game for us back in our Newcastle studio, and the 302 Sports crew is on site here producing the live stream. Newark is coming off an 11-point win over Middletown, and so far has avoided the multiple game losing streak that has plagued them in Januaries of previous years. Two of Newark's losses are to teams from Pennsylvania, with their only in-state loss coming at the hands of Apple High in a game we broadcast just over 2 weeks ago, and that was a close one, 53-50. St. George's has also only lost to one team in the first state in their second game of the season when the Hawks fell to the top-ranked Sanford Warriors 63-56, just as every other Delaware high school team has this year as well. Since that loss, though, St. George's wins against Delaware teams have all been by double digits. Marty, both these teams begin each season with the goal of making the state tournament. You can look at the past year's records and show that they're very successful at that. It's the second half of the season here in Delaware high school basketball, and it's this time of year when coaches start really reminding their players that every single game could be the win that gets you into the postseason or the loss that keeps you out. Or in the case of these two teams, it might be the difference between having a first-round bye or not.
That's right. These are two legitimate teams. As you said, at 8-3 and 9-5, both of them harbor legitimate thoughts of having a first-round bye in the state tournament. For St. George's, they're legitimately considered one of the top contenders for the state title. Newark looks like they're building to that level. They've avoided, as you said, some of the pitfalls that plagued them last year during an up-and-down season. They've gotten off to a really strong start, including handing Middletown only their second loss of the season on Thursday night in a game a lot of people thought might show us what Newark was made of. So far, so good for Coach McCants and his crew. They're facing a huge height advantage this afternoon against St. George's, but when these two teams get together with these two coaches, you know they're going to go all out for them.
All right, let's take a look at these two teams. Newark, coached by one of its own, Shannon McCants, a four-year starter at point guard here in his heyday, took his team to two state championships and the Final Four all 4 years that he was here. He knows how to win basketball games on the court, and he's trying to transfer that knowledge to his team. A team this year, Marty, that is young. They've only got one senior on the entire roster. Two sophomores will start tonight. A freshman will start, and another freshman will get significant playing time.
That's right. It's amazing. If you look at their body of work, if you've been to their games, if you watch their games on YouTube or listen to them with us, you're amazed at how well they play. And then you look at the roster and you see how young these kids are, and you think they are really building towards something big here. Hodges leading the team at 15 points per game. He was at 13 points per game last year. He's pulled up a little bit more as the leader of this year's team. He's the leading rebounder. He's the second in assists. Coach McCants has said he's been their best all-around player so far this year. The guard, Anthony Earl, his scoring is down a little bit from earlier in the season, about 6.5, 7 points a game. His defense has been outstanding. Donald Burton is a force inside. He is a big kid if you haven't seen him. But the funny thing is, he's also able to step out beyond the three-point arc and drain it with anybody. Now, what that does is give them the ability to pull some of the bigger defenders, which they may look into doing tonight, Burton that is, pull them out beyond the arc, open up the middle a little bit, and if you don't come out and pick up Donald Burton, as I said, he'll bury the three. Wiley lately have done a great job for this team. And then the guys, super sub-freshman, as Coach McCants refers to him, Luis Serrano Gill, has done a really good job. Coach says he plays beyond his years. He's averaging about 7.5 points off the game. One thing I love about Newark is that they can run, they can play at any speed. As we know from Coach McCants in the past, as a guard-oriented guy, he loves to spread the floor and get his team running around. They will sit up in a half-court set at times, and what they'll do is use picks that they set either down on the low blocks or up beyond the three-point line to free up their guards and their scorers. They also play what I would call full-body defense. They'll play a 2-3 zone, or they'll play man-to-man, but they use their arms and their legs. They're kind of like octopus out there. They close down the passing lanes. They do a phenomenal job. They don't have a ton of size, but they play bigger because of the way they use their full body to defend.
All right, so that's what Newark's going to look like. On the other side of the court, we've got St. George's, coached by Rod Griffin. Griffin is in his 6th year. He's a retired military professor from Temple University. Does it for the love of the game, and he's done it well. They've been in the playoffs, semifinals, 2 years out of the past 3. Last year, though, an early out. They had a first-round bye and then got beat in the second round by a St. Elizabeth team that was sort of the Cinderella, obviously went on to win the state championship, but when they beat St. George's in that second round, it was a huge upset in the making right there that happened. And they boast, St. George's that is, one of what's going to be, or who is going to be, one of the all-time best scorers in the state of Delaware, no matter what his final points per game is, and that's Bones Highland. We've seen him pour in 50 points twice. The average, his game high this year is 37. We'll look to see what he is able to do tonight.
It's amazing, actually. And one thing, just to put the bow on that St. Elizabeth story, both of these teams were the number 1 and 2 teams to fall victim to St. Elizabeth in the state tournament. Newark went down in a game. They were the chic pick to take out St. Elizabeth. And then St. George's, who had absolutely blitzed St. Elizabeth during the regular season, fell in a buzzer beater in the second round to get knocked out of the state tournament, a game that a lot of people thought was going to propel St. George's forward. Instead, it turned out to be the one that kind of sent St. Elizabeth on their destiny march. This team at St. George's is they're built to win now. Deshaun Highland, he's a kid who can play at any level, whether he's playing down low. He can post up. He's got good size. He's very comfortable behind the three-point line. You and I have both seen him pull up from 26, 27 feet on occasion. There's not a single place in the gym where he feels he can't hit. He's averaging just under 28 points a game again this season. Michael McCants down low is always a kid. The last couple of years, I thought this kid can really be a force. He looks like he's really turning it up this year. He's doing a lot better job using his body down low. He's averaging 13 points a game, leads this team with 9 rebounds a game. Not to be undone, Deshaun Highland also. He's averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists, leading the team in the assist category as well. So St. George's, they're 8-5. They had just broke a 4-game losing streak, but that was because they've chosen to go the Stan Waterman route of scheduling Coach Griffin has, and that is piling up as many strong teams to play as possible, so when we get into late February and March, you're ready for the state tournament.
All right, and a correction, Bones Highland's high for the season was 40 against Red Lion Christian Academy. All right, we're closing in on tip-off here. When we come back, it's St. George's and Newark in a Blue Hen Flight A Conference showdown here at Newark High.
American Spirit Federal Credit Union brings you
Connie, you can bring us back, and then I'm probably going to be bouncing it right back to you almost immediately for the anthem. We're ready for the players now. Go ahead and let it run through, bring us back, and then we'll go right back.
No minimum balance. Okay. But Casasa pays you up to 39 times more interest.
Newark High, John Busby along with Marty Sheehan here on the Fox 1290 Game of the Week special Saturday edition. We're going to break for the national anthem. When we come back, it's the Newark High Yellow Jackets hosting the St. George's Hawks.
School bus drivers, custodians.
Robert Wiley, sophomore Anthony Earl, senior Joe Hodges, freshman Kamal Lately, and junior Donald Burton. For St. George's, it's Bones Highland, Ahmad Taylor, Joe Rinarelli, Kevin Payton, and Mike McCants. Jumping will be Lately and Taylor, and coming down with it is Newark. So the Yellow Jackets moving left to right as we see it. The all-white uniforms in the gold trim. St. George's with the black uniforms and the royal blue and white trim. Earl with it out in the front. He's the point guard of this team. McCants had talked about possibly moving him to the shooting guard to try to lessen or decrease, I should say, some of his turnovers. They get it over to Lately in the corner. Burton underneath, the big lineman, up and no good. Batted around, and it's going to be off. It's going to be blue ball off of Newark.
And Burton, that's a mismatch inside against Lately. He's got a good 50 to 75 pound weight advantage. Just maneuvered Lately into the lane, went up for the shot. Unfortunately, didn't come down with it.
I've seen Burton twice, once live, once on our broadcast. He got himself in foul trouble early in the second half as we've got a turnover. That's going to be Payton with double dribble, going to turn it over to Newark. Just underway here, less than a minute into this special Saturday afternoon game of the week here on Fox Sports 1290 and the 302 Sports live stream. Newark has it. Anthony Earl, the sophomore point guard for Newark. As we mentioned, loads of underclassmen here. Jumper from the corner. He's another underclassman. That's Wiley. Rims out, and coming down with it is Newark. Earl's going to pull it back out. Burton working it around. He's on the left wing. St. George's in a 2-3 zone. Into Hodges, drives in. Ball is short. The big man in the middle, McCants, comes down with the rebound.
St. George is playing that 2-3 zone where they will press and they'll trap guys in the corner, so nice job.
Payton gets it into McCants. He scoops it out to the foul line. Missed shot there by Taylor, and Newark comes down with it. No score here yet. 6:30 to play in the first quarter, and ball is tipped away out of bounds, and that was Hodges trying to get it underneath to Wiley. Tipped out of bounds there by St. George's. Going to stay Newark ball.
A lot of length of this St. George's team on the floor, too. Interesting change, too. Tyrese Owens, number 11 for St. George's, has been starting for much of the season. Rinarelli has replaced him in the last several games. He provides a big scoring punch, especially from
got hurt in the Howard game, and he's still recovering from that. He is in uniform and is available, Coach Rod Griffin said. Burton from three, we mentioned he can shoot it. This one's long. Lately comes down with it, puts it up on the right side with his left hand, misses, gets his own rebound, and scores.
That's a great job by Camus Lately, the freshman. Again, Newark doesn't have all the size in the world, and they're outsized here today, but they work so hard, hustle inside.
Rinarelli, who's getting the start, he drives in on the right side, tipped around short after the short shot. Coming down with it is Earl. He's sprinting down, goes up against Lately. Lately defends it. Coming down with it is Rinarelli for St. George's. He streaks up the left side right in front of us. We are courtside here as St. George's moves right to left. Payton has it. He gets over to Bones Highland. I think that's the first time Highland's gotten it. Three-pointer from the right wing, rims around and out, and then a careless play by Burton and Earl as the ball in the exchange goes out of bounds. No defensive pressure, just a mental mistake.
No, that time Burton thought Earl was going to come forward. Earl stopped dead. They threw the ball, just a little miscommunication, as you said, but not something you want to afford, especially early in the game. It's only 2-0 right now, but you don't want to get St. George any free shots.
Bones Highland, another three on the inbounds in the right corner, and it was long, out of bounds, and it's going to stay St. George's ball as Newark tipped it out of bounds.
In terms of offense, Highland will remind a lot of people of Allen Iverson. He will shoot a ton, but trust me, they'll start to fall.
Payton finds Rinarelli underneath. Defensive lapse there. Rinarelli misses the layup. Newark comes away with it. Hodges drives in. It's blocked away there by Taylor, but a foul is going to be called, and it'll be two shots.
Again, a couple easy shots being missed by both sides. That time Rinarelli, and he may have picked up the foul,
he did.
I believe. That'll be his first, sending Newark to the line. Newark is a 57% free throw shooting team on the season, not their strong point, as opposed to St. George's, who's shooting 75% from the line of the team.
And on cue, I should say, or not on cue. Hodges, it looked like it was coming out.
It was ugly, but it
hit the back of the rim, bounced 4 feet in the air, and went through. So Newark extends its lead to 3-0, and the second shot is no good. 5:27 to play here, and Newark has a 3-0 lead over St. George's. That's Taylor inside. He gets it back out to Payton. Payton, a three-pointer, no good. McCants goes hard up with the layup, misses it, and Burton comes down with a rebound.
Great job. Again, Newark is so quick inside. They all went up with their hands straight up, elevated. No one tried to block the shot, causing McCants the miss.
Hodges has it on the foul line. He dishes to Burton in the left corner, in and out. Spying for the rebound is Earl. He doesn't get it. McCants comes down with it. Hodges strips it from him and scores.
John, I talked about in the pregame the way they use their hands. They're all over the place, our Newark. That time, Hodges stripped the ball away, goes up for the easy two, something St. George is going to have to be mindful of on the rebounds.
Payton dishes out to Rinarelli. Right shot from the corner. Three-pointer, no good. Up with the rebound is Taylor. He puts it back up, blocked away by a slew of Newark players. Still 5-0, almost halfway through this first quarter. And a whistle blows, and it looked like, is that Taylor on the ground? Or is that, looks like he's twisted his ankle.
And again, John, on the defensive end, Newark, phenomenal. They have so many guys crash the boards. That time, McCants went up alone. Time before that, Taylor went up alone. But Newark sends multiple players. They're able to box outwork St. George's so far on the board. I'd have to say, so far, a surprise 5-0 lead for Newark at home. We're nearly midway through the first quarter, and one of the most prolific scoring teams in the state, St. George's, hasn't hit a bucket.
And it looks like Ahmad Taylor is going to leave on his own power, but he's definitely favoring that right ankle. Checking in for him is going to be Jameen Murphy, a 6'5 senior. So a 6'5 senior replaces a 6 senior. Not a bad trade-off from a height department.
And Taylor gets a lot of playing time for Jameen Murphy gets a lot of playing time for this St. George's team. Again, another big body, play some really nice defense.
And a beautiful pass underneath to Lately, misses the layup, but Burton's there to clean it up.
Donald Burton, tremendous position that side. That time he got inside Jameen Murphy for the easy layup. Burton using his bottom there to push Jameen Murphy out of the way, and a quick 7-0 lead midway through the first, and a timeout from Newark.
We're going to leave
St. George, excuse me.
We're going to keep it right here as Rod Griffin has taken his first full timeout. His team trails 7-0, as Marty said. 4:10 officially left to play here in the first quarter. Tonight's broadcast is presented by the United States Air Force. The U.S. Air Force wants you to know there's a new recruiter in your area. Tech Sergeant Andrew Bugg. His office is located on the riverfront in Wilmington. Stop by and find out about the exciting opportunities waiting for you in today's Air Force. Crown Trophy and People's Plaza is your one-stop shop for trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and Mini Trophy. Visit Crown Trophy and People's Plaza in Newark or online at crowntrophy.com. 4:10 to play. Going to be St. George's ball. Looks like Shannon McCants took advantage of the timeout and is going to start with a full-court zone press. It's a 1-3-1 press. We saw this against Apo. We saw it on tape several times. Checking in for St. George's is Blake Bryant. So Bryant's in along with Payton, McCants, Murphy, and Bones Highland. Actually, Bones Highland is not in. Bones Highland having a seat. And so, surprise there, Marty, that Bones Highland, who's attempted 2 shots, missed both, but hasn't touched the ball other than those 2 shots. Turnaround jumper by McCants is good. So finally, St. George's gets on the ball halfway, or on the board, I should say, halfway through the fourth quarter.
And a patient approach to breaking that press from Newark. They find McCants at the top of the key. He turns around. No one's in front of him. Hits the
ball. 3:40 to play here in the first quarter. Tipped off right at 1:30. And a traveling violation against Joey Hodges, the senior, and that's going to turn it over to St. George's. So far, that timeout has worked well for Coach Rod Griffin.
And if you're Coach Griffin, you love it even more. Again, with Bones Highland out of the game, they get their first basket, a little offensive continuity, maybe a little confidence starting to brim here as they work the ball inside.
They get it underneath to McCants, and he gets fouled. It was a nice dish inside by Payton. And it's going to be, the foul is going to be against Kamal Lately. That will be his first and the team's first. McCants will go to the line, a 75% free throw shooter for St. George's.
This free throw shooting from St. George is spectacular. Owens, McCants, Highland. Highland is at 85% for the season. These guys work very hard on this, and it pays off in close games.
McCants' first shot is nothing but the bottom of the net, so he makes it 7-3, 3:25 to play here in the first quarter. These guys they look like they know how to shoot free throws.
They do. Everything's perfect form.
And just on cue, another nothing but the bottom of the net. So 4 points for McCants. He's got all 4 of St. George's points. He comes in averaging 13 points a game. Lately gets it in the left corner. He gets it to Burton, who's double teamed immediately. He gets it out to Wiley. Wiley drives in, and he's fouled. Misses the shot, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, Wiley was bailed out there. He went in completely out of control. It looks like Joe Brinarelli will pick up his, I believe that's his second foul of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a kid again. He plays really good defense. He does a great job beyond the three-point line for this team. Again, a bailout foul because really Wiley was a bit out of control.
And the first shot is up and good by Wiley. Bones Highland checking back in. He's going to check in for Rinarelli, who'll have to see with the 2 fouls. I saw Highland over on the bench rubbing his left or right knee, one of his knees, and so I'm not sure if maybe he tweaked it.
He's stretching
That's
it out
why he
now.
came out.
Yeah, he looks a tad bit uncomfortable, stretching his legs out a little bit of the line.
Second foul shot by Wiley up and no good. So you've got Bones Highland, who may be hurting a bit from an injury, and you've got Taylor already out with an injury, not sure about his return. And so not the best of starts injury-wise for St. George's. But there is Kevin Payton drilling his first shot of the night, about a 10-footer from the left baseline.
That was a terrific job by the St. George's offense to pass the ball 5 times to Payton. They had a nice little fall-away jumper from the baseline, so great offensive teamwork there.
And Hodges gets called for a traveling on the other end. He was trying to extend his team's lead. They lead 8-6, Newark does, and on cue, Taylor checks back in. He'll check back in for Murphy. So you've got basically the starting lineup back in, other than you also have Blake Bryant, the sophomore, in for St. George's.
And for Hodges, that was his second traveling violation. That's one of those things that can get in your head if you're not careful.
Bryant, a lefty, attempts the three-pointer, no good, but cleaning up the garbage underneath is McCants with his 6th point of the night, ties it up 8-8.
McCants did a great job that time. Burton fell asleep a little bit in the lane. McCants cut right underneath him, came up with the board, easy 2.
Earl gets it over to Lately on the left wing. Burton has it in the corner. He whips it across. It's intercepted by Bones Highland going 2-on-1, floats one up off the backboard, no good. He comes up limping, and Payton has it, and the officials are going to stop the game for an injury timeout.
Yeah, and that was not caused by the shot. That was that with Bones Highland. That was whatever was bothering him before bothered him on that shot. He went up extremely awkwardly. I'm actually surprised they're not going to force him to come out of the game, because I believe that's why they stopped the clock.
Yeah, nobody got a foul, and the official over there called his own timeout. But like you said, if you're going to call an injury timeout, you're supposed to have to come out of the game.
Yeah.
Payton inbounds underneath instead. Taylor has it on the right side. They get it to Bones Highland. Earl is covering him. Payton has it on the left side. McCants came to set a pick for him at the top of the key. Pick doesn't work. Highland has it. He fires from NBA 3 range. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
That's the Deshaun Highland boy. No matter how his legs are, if he gets a chance to set and look at the basket, he is deadly. And that time from deep, as you said, NBA range. And all of a sudden, they've stormed back from a 7-0 deficit to take an 11-8 lead here in a timeout.
And so with an 11-8 the lead timeout, we're going to leave it right here. Newark took the full timeout, so each team has taken one. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local Union 313 and the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, energizing Delaware with their highly skilled electricians partnered with Signet. EW313.org. Marty, the NKN Films poster is at print as we speak. Another outstanding job by Chris at NKN Films. I got a chance to see the poster before it went to print. We'll have it available at our future broadcast, so stop by and pick one up from us. It'll also be on the website at foxsports1290am.com. And don't forget, for all your video needs, visit nknfilms.com. We've used them at Special Olympics for a few things, and they do an outstanding job.
They really do. Phenomenal job.
1:47 to play here in the first quarter. St. George's has taken its first lead of the game, 11-8. They trailed by 7 6-0 halfway through the fourth quarter. Newark coming out of the timeout. St. George's in the 2-3 zone. Bones Highland is still hobbling. They throw it in the middle of the lane. Payton intercepts it, gets it to Highland. Highland trying to set himself up for a jump shot. Can't get it. He gets it over to Payton. Payton gets it under to McCants. McCants misses the little jump hook in the low right post, and Newark comes away with it. McCants is telling his team to slow it down.
Yeah, and McCants down low for St. George's, kicking himself. Had a great opportunity there. A little turnaround lay off the glass. Missed that one. He won't get an easier shot than that.
Burton's got it on the right wing. He gets it over into the right corner. That's Wiley, the sophomore. He gets it to the senior, Hodges. Hodges with a jump shot from the right elbow, hard off the back of the rim. Coming down with it is Taylor. Taylor looks fine. Bones Highland does not.
He does, no. Highland is still limping up and down the court. Taylor's come back, look none the worse for wear, but Highland clearly in some discomfort.
Payton pulls up for a jumper from about 16 feet, misses. Lately comes down with a rebound. Under a minute to play, 35 seconds to go, and Hodges has it on the left side, drives in on the left side, and hits the layup with the left hand, and it's an N1.
And Hodges, a great job of taking advantage of the fact, and I'm not going to pick on Highland here, but basically it's 4-on-5 or 5-on-4 for the Newark offense, as Highland is really not doing much defensively. He's kind of staying out of the fray, protecting that ankle or whatever it is that's bothering him. That time Hodges took advantage, blew past into the lane and picked up the foul.
Hodges misses the free throw, so it's going to stay 11-10 with 30 seconds left to go. It went off blue on the rebound, though. It's going to be white ball. Robert Wiley has taken a seat. Checking in for him is another sophomore, Cameron Noel. So even the subs are underclassmen.
They are, yeah. And both these teams go about 9-10 deep in the first half of each of their games. So
inbound
great roster use.
Inbound to Hodges, I should say, underneath. He misses the layup. Well defended by St. George's. 22 seconds to play. St. George's moving right to left. They lead by 1, 11-10. They get it over to the left side. Bryant with the same jump shot he had a minute ago, and short once again. And a foul is made by Highland. Not sure about that foul. It's only going to be his first, but not sure that's what the coach wanted to be done.
No, and you know what? I'd gather to say that part of it was he couldn't get out of the way. I just think they worked his side of the court, and he just wasn't. He's being taken out of the game now, and he kind of just stuck his arm in there, considering he couldn't get out of the way, and was picked up the foul. You know, and just on Newark's end, John, Hodges is really struggling. They're going to need to get him going. He's the leader of this team, both emotionally and in scoring. So he's really struggled. He's been called for traveling twice, so they're going to need to get him going.
Block, Mitchell, and Murphy check in for these final 10 seconds. McCants and Highland among those having a seat. Newark has it on the right side. Cameron Noel has it. He gets it over into the corner to Wiley, who checked right back in. He's going to put a wild shot up from the baseline. No good. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter here at Newark High. Your score, St. George's 11, Newark 10. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
With Domino's week-long
No
carry
matter where you are in life, at every stage, we are here for you. For all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Partnering with 302 Sports, John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Newark jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but it's been mostly St. George's since then, and the Hawks lead 11-10. A couple injuries for the Hawks as McCann's shot comes up short. Coming down with the rebound is Hodges. He sprints left to right as we see it. Dishes underneath, a nice pass, and coming up with the basket is Cameron Noel, the sophomore, his first points of the night, and puts Newark back into the lead, 12-11.
That was a great job by Cameron Noel. He was being guarded by Highland again. Highland just couldn't keep up with him. He blew past him for the easy layup.
Payton goes in, gets it to Highland. He's one of the ones we talked about being injured, over to Rinarelli, and the shot from the left wing, no good. Nobody's made it from the left wing for St. George's yet. Maybe they need to move to the right wing.
Right.
Newark with the ball, 12-11 lead. Hodges drives right in, floats one up, bounces around, and good. So Joey Hodges, the only senior on this Newark High team, has 7 points and has put the Yellow Jackets up 14-11. 7:05 to play here in the second quarter.
Now he's really starting to feel it. You see, he drove through the lane with great confidence that time, and if he gets going, Newark has a fantastic shot.
And speaking of shots, Bones Highland, three-pointer right wing off the front of the rim, and so is the follow-up by McCants. No good. He's missed a couple in close in the past few minutes.
McCants, by my count during the game, has 3 missed close-range shots, so probably be ruining those at halftime. But McCants, the kid who gets a lot of rebounds, got to put those back.
And driving in is Cameron Noel on the right side, kind of forced one up, and it was swatted away. Coming down with it is St. George's. Payton has it on the left side. He drives in on the left side, throws one up. They're going to call a block, and I believe that block is going to be on Cameron Noel. It is. It'll be his first and the team's second, according to my stats.
Yeah, that was a nice job of driving the lane by Kevin Payton, the 6'1 junior. Just enough. He got the defender moving backwards just enough to pick up the blocking foul.
He's going to go to the line and shoot two, a 69% free throw shooter on the year. First shot is up off the back left side of the rim, no good. Checking in for St. George's is Jameen Murphy, and he's going to check in for Joe Rinarelli. Checking in for Newark is going to be the sophomore Robert Wiley. He's going to give Anthony Earl, one of his classmates, a rest.
Again, both of these teams, two of the deeper teams we've seen this season, both go about 9, 10 deep into the bench. Both of them do it, generally speaking, in the first half, so a lot of playing time, a lot of playing experience for both of these rosters.
Second shot is up and good for Payton, so it's a 14-12, 2-point lead for Newark High. They have the ball moving left to right, the all-white uniforms with the black and gold trim. St. George's in the black uniforms with the royal blue and white trim. And driving the baseline and almost throwing it away was Burton. They work it back around. Wiley's got it. He gets it over into the corner, and the freshman Serrano Gill, and an air ball from the right side, gets batted around. Hodges misses from point-blank range, and that's Serrano Gill that comes down. I'm sorry, it's Wiley that came down with it. He gets it back out front to Cameron Noel. So you got Hodges, Noel, Serrano Gill, the freshman who McCants is very, very high on, along with Robert Wiley and Joey Hodges in the lineup for Newark.
You see why during that exchange they weren't able to come up with a score, but they did outwork St. George's inside for the board.
Jameer Mitchell's going to check in for St. George's. The ball was tipped out of bounds, going to stay Newark ball. Coming back in for Cameron Noel is Anthony Earl. So Newark ball inbounding underneath is Earl. He gets it to Hodges, who pump fakes, drives in the middle, floats one up and good.
Boy, Hodges is just really starting to feel it now. That time drove in with his left hand from the right side of the lane, little floater up and over everybody and good. Give a 4-point lead to Newark.
5:27 to play, 16-12. McCants from just inside the top of the key, and it is good. So Mike McCants with his 8th point of the night, and it's now 16-14 Newark with the lead.
He struggles on point-blank shots all night long, so what's he do? He pulls up just inside the three-point line, drains it.
Hodges pulls up, Wildly goes in, misses, and coming down with the rebound was McCants. He's banged into by Anthony Earl, and I would think McCants got the better of that, even though he went to the floor. Earl's going to get the foul, his first, and neither team is in the penalty. St. George's has 4 fouls, Newark with 3. Going to be St. George's ball moving right to left. They trail 16-14. Mitchell throws the ball away, and then a nice bounce pass from Earl, but it gets tipped away because it wasn't handled by Wiley. Wiley gets it back in his hand, puts it up on the left side, is blocked away, and Bones Highland comes down with a rebound.
Frenetic action inside there as the ball changed hands 2 or 3 times. St. George is finally coming up with it before Newark could do any damage.
Mitchell double teamed. He gets it to Murphy in the corner, who dishes underneath to McCants. He makes that one from point blank, and we are tied at 16-16, 4:30 to play here in the second quarter.
A beautiful feed from the wing from Murphy inside to McCants, who simply turned his body, laid that up and in. Great use of teamwork there.
Serrano Gills in the left corner. It gets tipped away as he tries to get it underneath to Frank Burton, and Bones Highland comes away with it. Highland looks better. He's not limping like he was earlier in the quarter.
No, he definitely does look better. He's still, oh my goodness.
And he just fired from about 10 feet behind the three-point line, almost went in off the back of the rim. No good. He's got the green light, probably the only kid in the state of Delaware that has that green light.
He does. I'm not sure that Coach Griffin loves that one just for the fact that there was no one in front of Highland. He had a good 10 feet to work for him if he chose to move up and make that at least an NBA three-pointer.
Right.
He kind of took that one right after crossing the half-court line.
In the transition, Ahmad Taylor committed a foul. It will be his first. Good to see him back. He left with an ankle injury early in the game. Halfway through this second quarter, 16-16. We're all tied up in this Blue Hen Flight A conference matchup. Both these teams have to be considered the favorites to win Flight A, I would think. Hodges from three, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Great job by Hodges on the wing. Newark, his teammates finding him. Highland wasn't able to get out there in time, and a turnover.
And then a steal on the other end by Earl. He drives in and is hammered by Kevin Payton. Payton's going to get the foul, and Anthony Earl's going to go to the foul line and shoot two.
St. George's has played primarily a 2-3 zone the entire game. Newark has been able to find holes in that zone. They've also been able to penetrate and kick out on that last one. Found Hodges for the three-pointer. So a great game plan by Newark to attack this zone. And again, with Highland banged up a little bit, it kind of forces St. George to stay in that zone situation.
Earl's first shot is up and no good, so it's going to stay 19-16, 3:39 left to play here. Earl averages 6.5 points a game, has not scored yet tonight, and has scored. The first one rattled around and in, so it is now a 4-point lead, 20-16. Newark jumped out to a 7-0 lead to start the game. St. George's called a timeout and basically took over from there, and then Newark was able to rally here in the second quarter to regain the lead. Payton has it. Newark is in a looks like a matchup zone. Serrano Gill is on Highland's side. Highland works his way around, gets a jump shot off, no good. But Mackay Brittingham, who just checked in, committed the foul, and he's going to send Bones Highland, an 85% free throw shooter, to the line to shoot two.
And Highland, a great job that time. I don't want to say he was playing possum, but he had a nice little quick step over there to get past his defender, go up for that shot, drawing the foul. And as you said, one of the best free throw shooters in the state, Bones Highland, at 85%.
Struggling from the field tonight, makes his first free throw. That'll give him 4 points. Comes into the game averaging 27.6 points a game. We watched him score 50 two different times last year. His game high this year is 40 against Red Lion Christian Academy. Second shot is up and
John,
good.
the funny thing is they're so sure of his free throw shooting ability. When he shoots free throws, St. George's puts no one on the free throw line. They keep everyone back on defense.
And he came through 2 for 2. Hodges with the ball, being guarded by Highland. He gets by him, dishes off to Mackay Brittingham, who scores. So rare appearance for Mackay Brittingham, making the most of it. He's got Newark back up by 4, 22-18.
That was a phenomenal find there by Hodges, inside to Brittingham for the easy two.
And it's going to be a foul on the other side. I think that's going to be on Payton. And they are calling a block, and it should send, I'm sorry, the foul, Payton meaning against it. Payton is going to be going to the line. And I'm not sure who the foul was against. Waiting for it to go up. There we go. Foul is going to be on Kamal Lately. That'll be his second. And they get it underneath to McCants in the inbound. So a defensive lapse there by Newark. McCants scores again. That is his 12th point of the night, one away from his average, and he pulls St. George's to within 2, 22-20, 2:43 to play. Newark with the ball. Hodges has it, being guarded closely by Payton. He drives in, dishes underneath to Lately, but he was fouled first, and the foul is going to be on number 14 for St. George's. That's Payton. And it should be a 1-and-1, and so Hodges will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, Payton is playing him so close, and he's been doing it for the entire first half. Anytime Hodges takes a foot forward, a quick foot, he runs into Payton to initiate that contact. One of the coaches yelled out all game long because that has been there available for Hodges all game long. He hits the free throw. One thing that Newark does not want this to turn into in the second half, John, is a free throw shooting contest, because there is a clear difference in quality of free throws between these two teams.
Hodges' second shot on cue is missed hard off the back of the rim. Coming down with it is Payton. He loses control of it, but it lands right in Highland's hands. Bones Highland still limping. He was holding his left knee and still has not completely recovered from whatever that is. And a turnover, and coming up with it is Lately, and it's going to be a foul against St. George's.
I think that's going to be on Payton. That was a bad foul. 75 feet away from the basket. He tried to go inside to McCants with a no-look pass, but Newark didn't bite. And the Newark player, Kamal Lately, came up with that the steal, and just a bad foul by Payton. And again, send Newark to the line.
And Payton's going to check out. Checking in for him is Joe Renarelli, who got the start. It's a 1-on-1 for Lately. Shot is no good, so it's going to stay 23-20. Bones Highland has it. His St. George's team trails by 3, trailed by as many as 7, caught up, took the lead heading into the second quarter, and it's been mostly Newark since then. Highland pulls up, hits the front of the rim, and scores. So not as smooth as usual, but it still goes in. 7 points for Bones Highland, who will go down in Delaware history as one of the most prolific scorers, and we've seen him put on some shows. Hodges putting on a show, gets by his man again, dishes it underneath to Lately. Lately goes up strong, and it's no good, but he's going to head to the free throw line, and the foul is going to be on Mike McCants. That'll be his second, team's 9th. So, Marty, for the final 2 minutes, any foul now will be an automatic 2. Not this time, but the next one.
No, you're right. For the next 2 minutes, this does turn into a free throw shooting contest. And we're starting to see why Coach McCants calls Hodges his best all-around player. He's either scoring, rebounding, coming up with assists. That time it was a great job of setting up his teammate Lately for the attempt where he did pick up the foul.
And Kamal Lately missed the first of 2. It was a shooting foul. And the second one for the lefty is up and good. So Lately with his 3rd point extends Newark's lead to 24-22. Under 2 minutes to play here from Newark High School in the second quarter. McCants, a jump shot from the free throw line, no good. Coming down with a rebound is Makai Brittingham, the sophomore. He gets it to Earl. Earl throws it into the far corner to Serrano Gill. Serrano Gill drives, dishes in the middle. It falls in and out of Earl's hands, and it's going to be a turnover to St. George's.
Yeah, unfortunately for the freshman Serrano Gill, who Coach McCants has called the super sub, that time he went airborne, made the Cardinal sin of not knowing where he was going with the ball. When he went airborne, ended up throwing it away to St. George's.
Frank Burton getting ready to check back in. They get it underneath to Murphy. St. George's does. He puts it up and in, so maybe one series too late.
Murphy, a great job underneath. He got caught completely underneath the basket, but used his right arm to come up and over the top and put that one away.
So we got a tie ball game, 24-24, approaching 1 minute to play. Hodges drives in, gets it underneath to Lately. Lately misses the chip in, and coming back down with it is Hodges. He goes up strong, but travels first. So a missed layup and a traveling call, and it's going to be turned back over to St. George's with 1:07 to play. A tie ball game here. Burton checks in, and he's going to replace Serrano Gill. Shannon McCants is asking for the foul on that play, not going to get it. So Bones Highland has it. It's 1 minute left to play. He's in with Rinarelli. Taylor is in. McCants is in, and so is Murphy. Murphy's going to fire from 3 on the right side. Misses badly, but there to clean it up is Rinarelli, like it was a pass, but it wasn't.
That was an amazing, he'll call that a pass in the books. Rinarelli, the man on the spot, came from the weak side to lay that in with nobody on him.
The big man, Burton, drives in, misses, gets his own rebound, puts it up, gets swatted away. I think McCants is going to get called with a foul, and if he does, that will be his 3rd.
Boy, and when Burton drives into the lane, it's like the Red Sea. That thing parts. No one wants a part of that big body as he comes barreling through there. He did a great job of coming up with his own rebound, going up and drawing the foul.
The foul's going to be called on Taylor, and I think St. George's got lucky. I think the foul was on McCants. Burton makes the first of 2. It's now a 1-point game, 26-25. Blake Bryant is checking in. Ahmad Taylor is going to have a seat for St. George's. 40.8 seconds left to play. Frank Burton, the big two-way lineman for Newark High, getting ready to make to shoot his second shot, and it is good. So Burton with 4 points, half his average, and it is now a tied up 26-26. Highland gets double teamed. He gets it across the timeline to McCants. McCants gives it back to Highland, double teamed again, and he whips it over to Rinarelli. Rinarelli gets it to Murphy, and a nice dish inside on the give and go to Rinarelli, but it's blocked away by Newark. Coming down with it is McCants, and he goes up and scores.
That was phenomenal defense by Newark to drop, to throw the ball right back in Rinarelli's face, but a great pickup by McCants to go up and put that away.
And Hodges forces the pass underneath. Lately loses it. Hodges comes back up with it, puts it up, misses the layup, has his own rebound, and a little hook shot inside is good. So Joey Hodges turning garbage into goal. It's 28-28, and that's the final buzzer here at the end of the second quarter. What a fast-paced first quarter here.
Fantastic.
Or first half, I should say. Your halftime score, Newark 28, St. George's 28. We're going to send it back to Ronnie Vickers in the studio for a halftime sports report, and then we'll be back for the second half. Once again, your halftime score, Newark and St. George's tied up at 28.
Mark your calendars now.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource.
Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lewis, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
As a military wife, I love helping our airmen and their families with financial tools to help provide financial stability.
I promise to make a positive difference in your financial life, from helping you to lower your payments to discovering ways to help you save for your children's future.
From the needs of college students and first-time auto buyers, I promise to identify and take ownership of your needs.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
And began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus: wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus: wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus: wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus: wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
At every stage, we are here for you, for all of life's big moments, and everything in between. After all, that's what families are for. We promise to make a positive difference in your financial life and go beyond the norm. Be a part of the Dover Federal family.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvement's pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens and bathrooms. Want a professional no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Ronnie Vickers, thanks for putting together a halftime sports report for us. We got about 2:20 left here in the halftime segment. It is tied 28-28. Newark jumped out to a 7-0 lead. St. George's coach Rod Griffin called a timeout, and his team went on quite a run, took the lead 11-10 heading into the second quarter. Then it was back and forth 4 different times to get to our 28-28 halftime lead here between these two teams who are both at the top of the Blue Hen Flight A conference. For Newark, Joey Hodges, who came in averaging 15 points a game, also leads this team in rebounds. He is at his average already at the half, has 15 points on the scoreboard. With 4 points, it is Donald Burton, and I apologize, I called him Frank probably at least 3 different times. We covered Frank Burton for William Penn High School, also a two-way lineman. And so 2 guys named Burton, 2 big linemen, and I got him confused. I'm just going to say Burton from here on out. But anyway, he had 4 points, half of his season average. Camus lately with 3, 2 points apiece for Mackay Brittingham and Cameron Noel off the bench. Robert Wiley and Anthony Earl each have 1 foul shot. For St. George's, surprisingly, Bones Highland has been quiet. He's also battling an injury of some sort. He has 7 points, well below his average. 14 points is the leader, Mike McCants. He's hit shots from inside, also missed several shots from inside, but still managed to come away with 14 points. 3 for Kevin Payton, Joe Rinarelli, and Jameen Murphy have 2 apiece. Marty, your thoughts on the first half?
I think it's been the Newark defense. They've been the story. They've done a really good job on Bones Highland. Again, he has been banged up a little bit, but 20 points below his average, as you said. The third leading scorer this season for St. George's, Ahmad Taylor, at 7 points a game, has been held scoreless, the 6'6 senior. So Newark has done a really good job. I talked about in the pregame of how quick they were, and while they might not necessarily have the best height or the best size inside, and they're certainly outsized today, they do such a great job of hustling and boxing out, getting second chance points. So I really think, even though the score's tied 28-28, it feels to me like Newark controlled this game. It was played at their pace. St. George's stayed in the 2-3 zone the entire time. Newark found ways to penetrate that. If Newark can keep this from getting into a free throw contest, they've got a fantastic job of coming out here with a win.
Speaking of fouls, Kevin Payton of St. George's has 3, 2 apiece for Ahmad Taylor, Joe Minarelli, and Mike McCants. Newark, Camus Lately has 2 and 1 apiece for Kai Brittingham, Cameron Noel, and Anthony Earl. So it's going to be Burton on the floor along with Lately, Earl, Hodges, and Wiley, the starting 5 for Newark. Taylor is in along with Bones Highland, Rinarelli, Payton, and McCants. So starters for both teams here starting off. Whistle is blown. We are underway. Driving in on the right side, that was Earl, and it gets blocked away by McCants. It's going to stay Newark ball. Newark moving right to left as we see it sitting here courtside. We appreciate the staff here, Athletic Director Jason Bedford and Assistant Athletic Director Brian Corey. I tell you, they sure know what we need, and they make sure we have it. Rinarelli with a turnover, and it comes into the hands of Payton. He crosses left court. Three-pointer plus for Bones Highland off the back of the rim. He continues to struggle from outside. He's battling an injury of some sort. Taylor went down for St. George's early with an ankle injury, but he managed to come back in the second quarter, and he seems to have worked it out. So still tied 28-28, 1 minute in to this third quarter here at Newark High. A nice Saturday afternoon crowd coming out to beat the expected rain, snow, sleet, depending on what forecast you listen to. Lately gets it in the left corner. He tries to dump it underneath. Payton flies out of nowhere to come away with it. He double crosses and runs over Burton, and that is going to be a charge. He crossed over, got by Earl, but then ran into the big linebacker, and so that foul is going to be on Payton, and that is his fourth, I believe. That's his fourth,
and that is a fantastic job from Donald Burton. He did not move an inch in waiting for that to come down. One big difference so far this half, St. George's is staying in that 2-3 zone, but they're extending it. They're coming out beyond the three-point line and making the Newark guards work a little bit harder on the perimeter. So look for maybe Newark to try to get the ball inside a little bit more against this extended zone now. Actually, now it looks like they're in kind of a 1-1-3 defense as St. George's. They're kind of pressing things out a bit, trying to give a confusing look to Newark.
That might be because Payton has had a seat with 4 fouls, and he's replaced by the much taller Murphy, who comes in at 6'5", so it may be a defensive matchup situation as much as anything. Lately, the freshman, he gets it underneath the Hodges in a low post. Hodges turns and spins. He gets it over to Earl, who whips it over to Burton in the right corner. Three-pointer, no good, and it's going to stay Newark ball.
And they're actually playing a box and one now on Hodges. Rinarelli is sticking with Hodges wherever he goes. The other 4, again, if you're familiar with the box and ones, basically just that. 4 guys form a box. Rinarelli goes wherever Hodges goes.
Lately ends up with the ball on the inbounds, short on the 15-foot jumper from the left elbow. Rinarelli comes down with it after Wiley had it, and he swiped it away, and it's going to be St. George's ball. Moving left to right, the all-black uniforms with the blue and white trim. Highland in the red sneakers. He gets it over to Rinarelli on the left side. Murphy has it in the left corner, fakes a 3. They get it back to Hodges. He fires from NBA 3 off the front of the rim. No good. He's struggling, Marty.
He really is. He just can't find a rhythm.
Great play by Newark in the transition, 2 passes, and Lately slams it home.
Oh boy, Robert Wiley, the sophomore, with a fantastic look inside to Lately, the freshman, who jams it home.
And a turnover by Rinarelli, and coming away with it is Hodges. He gets it underneath to Earl. Pump fakes McCants up in the air, and coming down with it. It was Taylor that pump faked, and no good on the layup, and then Taylor ends up coming back down with it. So St. George is still yet to score. They've got the ball moving left to right. Bones Highland has it. They trail 30-28. He gets it underneath to Taylor. Taylor gets it out of bounds. It was thrown and coming back in. Trying to chase it down was Murphy, and to no avail. It's going to be Newark ball.
Just no offensive continuity or really any confidence being played with by St. George's right now. They're just kind of helter-skelter all over the place, throwing the ball around. When they're at their best, they're moving the ball around the perimeter. It touches Bones Highland's hands every time. Usually see a defense crash down on him, which creates some openings for some of the other opportunities for some other scorers.
Jameer Mitchell, the senior, checks in for Murphy for St. George's. Earl has it at the top. He whips it underneath to Burton. Burton pump fakes, goes up strong and scores.
Burton, a great job of pump fake there, trying to get Ahmad Taylor up into the air. Taylor, mindful of the fact that he has the fouls, did not want to pick one up, and Burton went up unopposed.
3 minutes in, St. George's has yet to score. McCants has it at the foul line, turns it over. Hodges drives down the middle, is fouled, and good.
Wow, I'm going to say that's a continuity good from the NBA. They gave him an extra step, I thought, after the contact, but no matter how you slice it, a great job there. Hodges, boy, once he gets out into the open court, he is so dangerous, whether with his right or left hand. That time goes up with the left, draws the contact.
Free throw spins out, no good. He's 2 over his season average with 17, 4:50 to play. 34-28. Newark. St. George's has yet to score in this second half. Rinarelli drives baseline, tries to hit a cutting Taylor, misses. It ends up in Highland's hands. He shoots an NBA three from the top of the key, hard off the back of the rim, and Coach Rod Griffin is going to take a timeout.
And John, to your point, Rinarelli he drove the baseline and looked for driving Taylor. The problem was Taylor didn't drive. There's just nothing going on here. Again, to use the word continuity, their offense just seems to be a little bit out of sync. Nothing is working properly. They've gone a couple minutes now without a point, a 6-0 run to start for St. George's, or for Newark, excuse me.
Introducing Domino's Hotspots. Get pizza delivered to outdoor locations like parks, beaches, and more. Not at home? Not at problem. Visit Domino's.com for details on Domino's Hotspots. Special Olympics Delaware is always looking for qualified coaches. Basketball season is midway, but coming up is softball, swimming, track and field, bocce, tennis, and powerlifting. It takes just 2 hours a week for 8 weeks to make a difference. For more information, visit SODE.org. Want to jump in the ocean with me? February 3rd, I'm going to take my 27th polar bear plunge into the Atlantic Ocean for Special Olympics. It's not too late to sign up. Just visit plungede.org. And so, Marty, just like they started out the game, Newark with a 6-0 run. They had a 7-0 run to start the game. Rod Griffin called timeout. St. George's came out and scored and basically took over the first quarter. We'll see if that happens out of this St. George's timeout.
Exactly, and I'm so impressed with the way Newark started both halves. This is definitely a different Newark team than we saw last year. At this point last year, this Newark team was 5-6 in the midst of his 5-game losing streak. They're playing with so much more confidence at 8-3 this year.
And Jameer Mitchell throws it into the backcourt, almost throws it away. Coach Rod Griffin not happy, sends Rinarelli down, and Payton getting ready to check back in with 4 fouls. Rod Griffin might feel like his team, especially with Highland off of his game, needs to get some scoring in. Rinarelli with a 3 from the left corner, and so there you go. Out of the timeout, St. George's scores to pull within 3 as we approach the midway point of this third quarter. Newark leads 34-31 with the ball. Burton has it in the right corner. Pump fakes McCants up in the air to no avail. McCants has 2 fouls. Payton in the game with 3, driving in and blocked away. That was Hodges on the drive. He leads all scorers with 17. It's going to stay Newark ball. And checking in is Payton for St. George's. He's going to come in for Jameer Mitchell. So Payton's going to have to be very careful,
yes.
Marty.
And John, Rinarelli, that 3, what you saw was great offensive movement, fluid movement with the ball, working around the perimeter, found a wide open Rinarelli who at his best will drain the open 3.
Under 4 to play. Newark with the ball, a 34-31 lead. It was tied at the half. Burton's got it on the right wing, almost throws it away. Rinarelli snuck in there, knocked it away from Hodges. Hodges ends up back with the ball. He's looking to try to drive against Rinarelli. He gets to Earl in the corner. He drives baseline, dishes back out to Burton. 3-pointer from the right wing, long off the back of the rim. McCants with a rebound, and McCants throws it away, or I should say it was a steal by Hodges. Up and good, and the foul.
Hodges has just been playing phenomenally well. I mean, he did a good job for this team last year. He has been playing out of his mind this season. Again, Coach McCants calling him their best all-around player. That time he just took advantage of a little laziness on the defensive rebound by St. George's, swiped it away, drew the contact, made it count.
And free throw, I should say, is short and left, no good. and rebound goes out of bounds with Lately chasing it. Turnover to St. George's. So 19 points for Hodges, 4 over his season average, and St. George's has the ball. They've scored just once on Rinaldi's 3 in this second half. Payton's got it. He's playing with 4 fouls. They get it over to Highland. Highland drives left, dishes inside. Taylor drops it, but it ends up in the hands of McCants. He goes up strong, but Lately, the freshman, swats it away, and Newark comes away with it.
Lately, a great job going vertically up, and then a beautiful pass inside from Hodges. Not able to convert.
Unfortunately, Wiley didn't convert, thought he got fouled, and it was Taylor who's now limping again, and they're going to call an offensive foul, and I think that's going to be on Bones Highland, and so Highland is going to pick up his second foul. He is struggling, has just 7 points, averages 27.6 a game. It's going to be turnover Newark. Everything going in Newark's favor right now.
It is, and John, I think to your point, I think that was a frustration foul. He jutted out the left arm to gain some space between he and the defender. He was trying to go inside, but referee who was right on top of it was having none of it.
2:51 to play in the third quarter. Newark with the ball and a 5-point lead. St. George's in that box and one, it still looks like, with Rinarelli playing Hodges. Earl has it. He drives into the lane, scoops it up, and good.
Wow, Earl takes advantage of the open in the lane with, again, Rinarelli playing that box and one, so the lane is wide open. Took advantage to go in for the easy layup.
Payton gets it inside to Taylor. Taylor, a turnaround jumper is long. Coming down with it is McCants. He pump fakes, goes up strong. No foul call. It goes out of bounds. It's going to stay St. George's ball for Earl. That was his first 2-point shot of the game. He had made a free throw earlier. 38-31. Rinarelli has it. NBA range shot for him. Top of the key. In and out. No good. Payton goes up strong with a rebound. A turnaround jumper. Left hand. No good. And it gets swatted around. Back into the hands of Taylor. That's no good. So 3 layups missed there in that series. Out of bounds. Off of Lately. Going to stay St. George's ball.
I've counted about 4 or 5 layups in this second half so far that St. George's has had inside on rebound opportunities, and they have just not been able to convert, whether it's Taylor or McCants or Highland or Rinarelli. They're just, once they get the inside rebound, they have not been able to put it home.
Serrano Gill checks in for Earl. Earl hustles straight for the locker room. Not sure if he's got an upset stomach or something. McCants comes in, turnaround jumper, swatted away by Lately, but St. George's comes down with it. So you talked about the Newark defense, Marty, at halftime. Ed has shined in this third quarter.
It really has.
Highland jump shot from the wing just inside the 3-point shot. No good. McCants comes down with it. We're going to have a jump ball.
This will stay with St. George's, but this has been a phenomenal job of Newark getting all in the faces of all the St. George defenders, and they're not committing fouls. That's the best part of this. They're all playing great disciplined defense.
Payton has it. He gets it over to Highland, a 3-pointer from the left wing. That one's short also. Rebound by Lately, and he gets it out to Wiley McCants. You can hear him yelling, easy, easy. They're in no rush. A 7-point lead. 1 minute, 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
John, you know what's funny? Lately reminds me of Kayvon Kramer back when he was a youngster at Mount Pleasant. The length, the jumping ability, just fantastic skills.
And Lately on cue misses a layup with a left hand. Also a lefty like Kayvon Kramer, and St. George's comes away with it. Highland's got it. Spins move around the freshman. Serrano Gill gets it to Payton. Payton drives in, pulls up and the right elbow. Rinarelli on the right corner missed. Swatted away by Lately, and that was a great analogy, Marty. Unfortunately, Kayvon Kramer's not playing this year because of his injury, and but he has signed a letter of intent to play at Hofstra, so that's good news for that young man. Checking in for Newark is Cameron Noel. He's going to take the place of Robert Wiley. Inbounds to McCants. He sets up Highland in the right corner. That shot's no good. Taylor with a rebound. Pump fakes Burton up. Goes up, misses the layup, but is fouled. And for Burton, that is going to be his first foul on the night. And Taylor is going to go to the free throw line, a 70% free throw shooter. So far the story of the night, though, Marty, is Bones Highland struggling. We don't have his official shooting stats, but he has 1 3-pointer and a 2-pointer, and other than that, he has missed probably at least 7 or 8 shots.
I agree, and the only time they're leaving him unchallenged is when he's a good 30 feet away from the basket. Otherwise, they've had a hand in his face. They're playing him at different angles to force him one way or another, and they've just been frustrated him all night. He's missed a bunch of shots in a row, and as we know, for any shooter, that can get in your head. The only way to get out of it is to keep shooting. I'm sure he'll do that, and at some point he's going to start to hit some of these.
Taylor missed the first and made the second. Earl has checked back in for Newark, and he takes the place of Lately. Murphy has checked in. McCants is going to take a breather for the rest of this quarter. 38-32. Newark has dominated this third quarter on both sides of the court, and driving in, that was Noel, and the ball gets swatted away, and Murphy comes away with it for St. George's. He gets it to Bones Highland. A nice job by Earl getting back on defense. Highland was ready to pull the trigger there on the left side. He gets it to Payton now at the top of the key, and Payton gets backed up there by Noel. Nice job on defense. And Earl has Highland. Highland gets around and puts up a shot just inside the three-point line in the left corner. No good, but he was fouled, and the foul is going to be on Anthony Earl, his second. 25 seconds left to play. A 6-point lead for Newark, 38-32. And Bones Highland, as 85% free throw shooter, is going to go to the line for 2 to try to get his first 2 points of the third quarter. Not often you say that, Marty.
No, and this may be one of the ways they get him going is by trying to get him to the line. Earl has been playing phenomenal defense on Highland, but there's only so much you can do. He has a little patented fall-away jumper, and if you're right on top of him, he gets called. He pulls the contact call a lot on those, goes to the free throw line just about as much, if not more than anybody else in the state.
Makes them both. Payton's going to have a seat with 4 fouls that he has. Merle Black checks in for him, and Earl throws the ball away. Bones Highland comes away with 16 seconds left, but then Highland dribbles it out of bounds, arguing with the refs, thought he was fouled, and he and Hodges are exchanging pleasantries, and that's broken up very quickly by players from both teams. Nice to see that. Mr. Burton in there along with Mr. Murphy, making sure that that doesn't go any farther.
And you know what,
than
John? I'll attribute that partly to Highland being so frustrated on the offensive end. He hasn't been able to get anything going. It looks like
somebody get teed up here.
I think they may have called a technical foul on somebody.
2 technical. All right, so both Hodges and Bones Highland,
Bones Highland, excuse me,
have gotten the fouls. And the bad thing for Highland is that is his 3rd foul. Hodges, it is just his first. No foul shots will be taken. And Coach Griffin is getting Highland out of the game, and I think you nailed it. He's just frustrated.
He is, and one of the things, and you pointed out, it was a great job, is that kids don't realize that these count as personal fouls now.
Yep.
So as you said, it's added to the total.
And Newark inbound, since it was their ball. Hodges shoots an air ball hard off the backboard. Burton comes down with it, scores, and is good. He'll head to the line for the old-fashioned three-pointer.
John Burton is an absolute monster inside, and the one thing he's doing this year that he didn't do last year is fighting through everything. Last year, he would go up for rebound. If he didn't get it, he'd simply go back on defense. This year, he is continuing to fight and fight and fight. I put that both on him and the coaching staff of Newark. He's starting to make use of that big body inside. This is a kid with a lot of skills. As we said, he can shoot from 3. He can make the pass. He's decent at the free throw line. Not great. One of the areas he's going to have to improve.
Lately checks in for Hodges, and McCants checks in as the free throw is missed. And we got another foul. Taylor had a seat for St. George's, and we're going to have a couple other substitutions. The foul is going to be on Camus. Lately, that is his 3rd foul.
Yeah, that one surprised me. I actually thought Lately was guilty of nothing more than being taller than the man in front of him there. He went straight up and got it, but I guess there was enough contact. The ref was in position, so can't argue with the call.
6 seconds left. Newark with a 40-34 lead. Coming up with it is Mitchell. He, of course, looks for Bones Highland, and Highland gets fouled. Earl's pleading his case, and he got called for the push, and that's going to be the 3rd on Anthony Earl. Neither team is actually. Newark will be shooting the one-on-one on their next foul, but that is just their 5th foul. So St. George is still 2 away from that. 1.1 second left to play. It's going to have to be a catch and shoot, and who better to have it than take it in Bones Highland. And as has been the case all night, unfortunately for him, the shot's away and no good as the buzzer sounds. That's the end of the third quarter here at Newark High. The Yellow Jackets with a 40-34 lead over St. George's. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
The U.S. Air Force wants you to know there's a new recruiter in your area.
Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood. He began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today.
7 points a game. Newark with the ball to start it off. Joey Hodges, who leads all scorers, drives in, misses the layup, comes up with a rebound. It gets knocked away, still being knocked around, and a referee blows the whistle, and Coach Shannon McCants saw his team getting ready to lose the ball, and so he called his second timeout.
Boy, how many times have we seen Hodges take the rebound away from a St. George's player? I know there's been at least 3 or 4 instances where St. George's has come cleanly down with the rebound, but then has either just have it ripped out of their hands or knocked away by Hodges. So I love what Shannon McCants is doing. When you've got a quick team like Newark, get your hands in there. Try to make something happen. They've gotten away with it a ton tonight, and it's resulted in some easy buckets.
19 points for Joey Hodges, the senior, had 15 at the half, 4 in the third quarter. Mike McCants leads St. George's with 14 all in the first half, so he was held scoreless. So whatever adjustments Shannon McCants made, which was basically to go to a box and one, that was Rod Griffin who went to the box and won. But whatever Shannon McCants did has worked, as Joe Renarelli had a three-pointer in the third quarter. And other than that, it was Bones Highland with 2 free throws and Ahmad Taylor with 1, and that was all the scoring for St. George's.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal to see this Newark defense in person. If you watch them on tape, you see a really strong defensive team. You also see it from St. George's as well. One thing we haven't seen from St. George's, they play a trapping full-court press that can really wreak havoc on some teams. And I'll be surprised if we don't see them break that out at some point in the fourth quarter. It might not be as easy to play it against a quick team like Newark. I'd still be surprised if we didn't see it.
And a quick inbound underneath to Lately, and so a defensive lapse there by St. George's as Lately scores on the rebound out of the timeout.
As you said, that's such a beautiful look. Lately just sliced down through the lane, found himself all alone, goes up for the 2.
St. George's working around Payton, who's got 4 fouls, a floater in the lane. It's no good. Battle for the rebound, and Lately comes down with it again, and a quick outlet from Earl to Serrano Gill. It's good.
Amazing job. Lately starts that again with the rebound down that end. One outlet pass, the pass down to Serrano Gill, and they score the easy 2. Just a great game right now being played by Newark. Everything is working so fluidly.
Bryant has it on the right wing for St. George's. Rod Griffin trying to see if he can get some threes since Highland's not hitting. McCants shoots it from the free throw line. It's no good. Taylor gets a rebound and hits a cutting Grant for 2. Cutting McCants. A nice play there by those 2.
One of the rare lapses we see from Newark's defense as McCants was left alone down the lane.
Serrano Gill misses a gimme from the low block, and St. George's comes down with a rebound, and Highland is hurt again. So we're not sure if that's – and there's going to be a foul on Camus Lately. That's going to be his 4th. So we've called his name a lot. That's not the reason why Shannon McCants wanted his name called. He's going to come out. Makai Brittingham is going to come in. And Bones Highland is still on the ground. We're not sure if it's a continuation of whatever that injury was. Midway through the first quarter, he came out, and he was on the bench kind of rubbing his knee.
Yes.
And we were surprised he came out. At that point, we weren't sure. That was during that 7-0 run.
Yep.
And I kind of wondered if maybe he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing, and Rod Griffin, the former military professor at Temple, decided that he needed to bring his superstar to the bench. But then I looked over and saw him rubbing his leg, and so it was clear that he was injured. He came back in and has played, but he has not been full force.
And we did see the referee stop the game at one point when he went down another time as well. So, there's been something. He hasn't been a factor defensively at all, simply because he hasn't been able to play much defense. In fact, one of the few fouls he's picked up was caused by the fact that he couldn't play defense. They kind of ran right through him. And just to change the topic momentarily to Camus Lately, the freshman who's just been outstanding, boy, he got an earful from Coach McCants in a positive way about not picking up those cheap fouls 90 feet from the basket on a hold after the rebound was already secured. You don't want the big guy going down and making that foul. And as big a presence as he's been, as you pointed out, that's his 4th foul, so he's going to be on the bench for probably a good part of this 4th quarter.
You know, I wrote a story about this Newark basketball team for the Newark Post a couple weeks ago, and Shannon McCants was so high on Camus lately and also Luis Serrano-Gill,
Yes.
2 freshmen who he just thinks are lights out as basketball players, and you can see why. You know, they just are talented. They are athletic. They seem to understand how to play the game, and so it's an exciting time for Newark basketball. Joey Hodge is the only senior on this team. Now, granted, he is their leading scorer. He's their leading rebounder, and is certainly going to leave behind a legacy when he leaves. But the future is bright for this Newark Yellow Jacket basketball team.
And to bring up, speaking about your story, the one thing that kind of stood out to me, too, about lately is that this is his first year playing organized basketball. That's incredible, the skill set he's displayed, which obviously has come to him naturally and through some coaching here at Newark. But boy, oh boy, if they handle him properly and he continues to work, this is a kid that can be an absolute force, because as a freshman, he is already making huge impacts. I would say he's probably the most impactful player in this game today.
The term trust the process comes to
There
mind
you
when
go.
you talk about big
That's
players
right.
not having much experience and coming onto the court. We're in a sort of a delay here right now as Bones Highland, who has been hobbled by an injury of some sort the entire game, went down on that last series, and he was laying face down underneath the basket and has now turned over. And so we're not sure. They're certainly not rushing him, which is a good idea. The trainers are out there, and Coach Rod Griffin is out there as well. It's probably safe to say that he will not be back.
I was just going to say the
for
same
this
thing.
game.
If for nothing else, the kid has such a bright future ahead of him that it's always going to be bigger than just one game.
And now he is up, and he is being assisted off. We can't see. The Newark players are huddled, and they're, of course, rooting for Bones Highland. You know, no player likes to see anybody
carrying
go off.
him off.
And they are going to carry him off. Coach Rod Griffin, and I assume it's one of his assistants, are carrying Bones Highland off. So whatever is wrong with Bones Highland, we certainly hope it's not anything that's going to be much more than maybe missing the rest of this game.
Exactly.
You know, he is a human highlight film.
He's a phenomenal talent.
He has struggled tonight. He's going to finish the game. We assume he's not coming back with 9 points. Well below his 27.6 average. But all we can hope for now is the best for that young man. As you said, Marty, not only for this year, but he's got a bright future ahead of him at the next level. 6:38 to play. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan back underway here. St. George's with the ball. Newark leads 44-36. They get it to Taylor at the foul line. A turnaround jumper is long, and coming down with a rebound is Makai Brittingham for the Yellow Jackets. They now have an 8-point lead, and I'm sure one of the things Shannon McCants talked about is when we have the basketball, we need to take care of it, and we need to take good shots. There's no shot clock in high school basketball, and therefore no rush.
No rush at all. Work the ball around, work your offense. If you find something open inside, take it. And again, you know, down the other end for Taylor, it has just not been Ahmad Taylor's day. He averages 7 points on the season, just not been able to get anything going offensively today.
And so, again, Bones Highland has left the game with an injury, carried off. That will be it for him, I'm sure. And Hodges has it. He dribbles over to the left. He gets it over to Earl. Earl pulls up for a short jumper, misses. Burton's there to clean it up and lays it up and good.
Wow, Burton got caught underneath the basket on that rebound, was able to use his left hand to go up and under. It went around the basket a couple times before falling through to build up. Biggest lead of the game for Newark at 10 points.
Payton throws it away right to Hodges, and Hodges drives down the lane, puts it up, misses, gets his own rebound, as we've seen him do a couple times, and puts it back in. And good. 21 points for Joey Hodges, his team now with their biggest lead of the night at 12 points. Rinarelli is fouled on the end. Shannon McCants, now actually Rod Griffin is taking a timeout, and he's lecturing Taylor as he comes off to the huddle here. Stay tuned for the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show right after the game. We'll recap all the action and final stats, announce our Crown Trophy player of the game, and we hope to have the winning coach on to discuss the game. It's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show just minutes after the final horn sounds. Tonight's broadcast is presented by the United States Air Force, as they all have been this season, including our high school football games of the week. The U.S. Air Force wants you to know there's a new recruit recruiter in your area, Technical Sergeant Andrew Bugg. His office is located on the riverfront in Wilmington. Stop by and find out about the exciting opportunities waiting for you in today's Air Force. And Marty, so a 12-point lead now for the Yellow Jackets right around the halfway point of the fourth quarter. The leading scorer of the other team is on the bench. Injury, not coming back. I'm 99.9% sure. And so Shannon McCants has got to be talking about strategy when they have the ball.
That's right, because right now the offense for St. George's is wide open. You really don't have another go-to guy. McCants is their second leading scorer, but you've got to work the ball inside, and they have not been able to do that tonight, though. With 4 fouls, Lately's currently out of the game. You're looking for a guy like Rinarelli or Bryant or one of those guys, maybe Ahmad Taylor inside to get going.
And so Bryant is on for St. George's along with Payton, who's got the 4 fouls. McCants is on, Taylor is on, and Rinarelli. Bryant has it on the left side. He's double teamed. So Shannon McCants throwing a little bit of a defensive look here we haven't seen tonight, struggling with a little bit of St. George's. Payton has it back, drives down the lane, and he's fouled going up for 2 shots. So Payton's got to be careful not to pick up his 5th on an offensive foul, but that wasn't the case. The foul is on Mekhi Brittingham of Newark. It's going to be his second, and it's going to send Payton to the free throw line to shoot his third and fourth free throws of the night.
And you're right, it is a little change from Coach McCants defensively. Outside, they're starting to trap the guards. Knowing that Bones Highland is no longer in the game, you don't have that guy with the threat to pull up from 25 feet. You don't have somebody that's going to whip by you in the blink of an eye, so he's going to apply a little bit more pressure to the guards that are in there for St. George's. They're already fighting an uphill battle. Might as well make it harder.
Payton missed the first. Second shot is up and good. So it's 48-37. Murphy has checked in for Rinarelli. Full court pressure by St. George's. Earl's got it, clears everybody out as you do. He gets it to the foul line. It's Serrano Gill who goes up, misses the lay-in. Coming down with it is McCants. And a nice defensive play by McCants and then a nice rebound. Payton has it moving left to right. 4:30 to play in the game. 48-37 lead for Newark. Bryant gets it, and they're going to call an offensive foul. Bryant got it after the foul was committed. And
Boy,
the foul
Ahmad
is
Taylor. Yeah, this has just not been his night. I mean, he's trying to find ways to help the team. That time, he just mowed right over Burton after he let that pass go. So it's been a really tough night for the guys inside for St. George's.
And they've called the referee over. I'm not sure what they think. They're trying to find out who the foul was on. It was on Ahmad Taylor. It's going to be his 4th foul.
And they're trying to determine if it's a shooting or a player control foul.
And it should be a player control foul. It was with the ball in the hand. He had the ball in the hands. It was a charge, basically. Yep. And so they don't shoot the one-on-one in that instance. Both these teams are in the one-on-one now the next time that either makes a foul. 48-37, 4:34 to play here at Newark High. The Yellow Jackets with a 48-37 lead, moving right to left as we see it. Bones Highland is on the bench, finishing with 9 points, went out with an injury. He was hobbled the entire game. It showed in his jump shooting. He struggled from the field on shots that are normally almost automatic for the senior. We wish him the best and hope that it is an injury that will just keep him out of this game only. Serrano Gill struggles inside the lane, dribbling, keeps control of it, dishes off Burton. Burton misses the lay-in, and St. George's comes down with it. We are exactly halfway through the fourth quarter, an 11-point lead for Newark. Payton drives in, gets blocked away, and St. George's comes back with it. It was Bryant that had it. He whipped it over into the corner to Murphy. Murphy wasn't quite ready for it, went through his hands, and it's going to be Newark ball. Lately's going to check in for Burton. 3:55 to play. Newark 48. St. George's 37 in this Flight A battle on Saturday afternoon.
Just again, no fluidity to the St. George's offense. Just haven't been able to get anything going with any kind of consistency.
And Lately has it. They're going to call a kick the offense had the ball. I didn't think that could be a kick, but it went back to the offense.
And I'm actually surprised that Newark is still attacking the basket. We saw Donald Burton do it on the last play. We saw the freshman Serrano Gill do it a few plays before that. Now Newark throws it away.
Rinarelli checks in. He gets the steal at midcourt on the inbounds by Newark. Misses the layup, gets his own rebound, puts it back up, and Brittingham with his 3rd foul is going to send Rinarelli to the free throw line.
I have no idea what Rinarelli was trying to do when he went up for that shot. A little pirouette there. He did get lucky and get his own rebound. So he is going to go to the line, and he's been one of the good free throw shooters for the St. George's team. Again, Newark doesn't want to get into a situation where they're sending St. George's lines a lot, though their best free throw shooter is out for the game.
Rinarelli on cue misses the first. They've got him at just 14%, but I think that's a lack of free throws more than anything.
He is a good shooter. He's a good shooter from the floor. He does a great job on three-pointers for this team. And they're going to need somebody to step up now with Newark just shutting down everything inside. Taylor just not having a great day. McCants has had a number of misses.
Misses the second, but coming down with it is Taylor, and he pump fakes, gives it off to Payton. Payton with a 10-foot jumper on the right side, no good. Battling for the rebound is Lately. He comes down with it. Hodges streaks up and almost turns it over, still trying to get control of it, and Coach Shannon McCants takes a timeout. I'm sure one of the things they're going to talk about is we are in no rush.
Yes,
so.
I said it last time. I was surprised they seem like they're in such a rush. I understand wanting to get above the timeline before you run into a trap situation, but St. George's really hasn't shown any indication of playing that kind of defense today, which, again, really surprises me. If you watch them play in some of their other games, the out-of-state games, a game they played a couple weeks ago, the game they played against Sanford, they can play a good, trapping, full-court press. We haven't just seen any of that today.
All right, let's reset it here. Newark jumped out to a 7-0 lead. St. George's coach Rod Griffin called a timeout, and before you know it, it was 11-10 St. George's to end the first quarter. 28-28 at the half. Newark winning the third quarter 40-34. St. George's scoring just one basket plus 3 free throws. Bones Highland went out at the 6:14 mark of the fourth quarter with an injury, carried off by 2 of his coaches. He's sitting there over on the bench. They have not scored, actually, correction, they've scored 1 point since that time. Coming out of the timeout here, Newark ball, 3:26 to play. They throw away right into the hands of Payton. He throws up a left-handed shot, wildly, no good. Rinarelli comes down with it. His shot is blocked, and then Hodges has it and throws it down.
Hodges with some emphasis there. That was that was kind of the exclamation point, if you will, from him.
50-37, jumper on the baseline by Taylor, no good. Newark's got it. Shannon McCants is pleading for his team to take it easy, looking for a foul, and Earl's going to get called on the carry, trying to escape Rinarelli. So a nice defense there, and checking in for St. George's is a player that's not even on any of the rosters we got, Marty. So I think that's the equivalent of Coach Rod Griffin waving the white flag here and just accepting the fact that it's not their day, and probably, like we are, hoping that the best part about today would be that Bones Highland's injury is not going to keep him out for any amount of time.
That's exactly it. In the grand scheme of things, yes, this will drop them to 9-6. Let's face it, they're going to be one of the teams that are big come March, although they will need Highland to be in that lineup.
Rinarelli fires from 3. It's long and then falls in, bounces around and then in. So Rinarelli's not done yet. His second three-pointer of the second half. 2:45 to play. It's a 10-point game. 50-40, Newark with the lead. Lately, a smart move there. Had a wide open 3. Instead, he gets it back out to Hodges. St. George's is still in that box and one defense. They're playing like a 1-3 almost.
Yeah, it's an interesting look. I was going to say, if I'm Newark, I'm just keeping the ball in Hodges' hands until they come out and play me. They are starting to count now. I don't think.
Ooh, boy, Earl gets it. They're going to call it jump ball. Boy, Earl had it.
I don't like that shot by Earl. I don't think Coach McCants liked it either. You have to bring that ball out. I don't think, he's yelling at Hodges, and I think the reason is there was no need for Hodges to go inside of that. They weren't going to go up with it. He wanted to wait until someone came out to play or foul Hodges.
And so if they didn't get the message before, they certainly have it now. Burton is triple teamed on the baseline. McCants is triple teamed on the baseline. He gets it out. Payton has it at the top of the key. He's double teamed there. And they get it over to the left wing, into Taylor, thrown away. Lately comes away with it. He gets it ahead to Earl, and he's going to go up and score, and is fouled.
That's a phenomenal job by Earl. I thought he might pull it out, but when he saw that Rinarelli wasn't going to go up to challenge him, he finished it off. Rinarelli got a little bit of body contact at the end, which was completely unnecessary, but enough to pick up the foul. And again, they're sort of just adding exclamation points right now is Newark.
And the foul is going to be on McCants, and that is his 5th. So the 6'6" senior is going to foul out with 16 points, 3 above his season average.
We'll see the first appearance of senior, Merle Black, the 5'8 senior for St. George's, who hasn't been in the game yet.
Actually, McCants is not fouled out. They reset it, and so the foul
They're going to
is
call
going
that
to be on
Rinarelli,
which will
correct.
be his
Yep.
third foul. And so they got that straightened out. 1:53 to play. Newark with a 52-40 lead. Anthony Earl, the sophomore, only 1 point in the first half, trying to get his fifth here in the second half. Foul shot is up and good. So it's now a 53-40 game. 1:52 to play. St. George's with the ball. Payton's on the floor with McCants and Taylor, Bryant, and as you said, Marty, Merle Black getting his first appearance, and there's going to be a block inside, and so St. George's will go and shoot the 1-and-1.
I think the frustration there is they allowed Taylor to get the ball at the top of the key, but they didn't collapse on him right away. They waited till he turned, started to make his way to the basket, did Donald Burton, and picks up the cheap foul. And again, this team is too good from the free throw line. I believe Taylor is a 70% free throw shooter. You don't want to put him at the line either.
First shot on cue is good. He's now 2 of 3 on the game. Comes in averaging 7 points a game, well below that. That's just his second point of the night, and he pulls his team to within 12, 53-41, 1:43 to play. Second shot is up, and nothing but the bottom of the net. So 3 points for Taylor. It's 53-42. Newark with the ball, knocked out of Hodges' hands, going to stay Newark ball.
I think Hodges is looking around saying, somebody's got to tell me that somebody's right behind me trying to knock the ball out. It looked directly at Burton like, hey, at least give me a heads up that Rinarelli's right on my 6 here.
Serrano Gill's going to check in, the freshman, for another freshman, Camus lately. So Newark's got him, Burton, Wiley, Hodges, and Earl. So basically the starting lineup other than freshman Serrano Gill, who just replaced lately. And Earl's got it, and he gets himself over into the corner, and Shannon McCann saw trouble coming and instead called a timeout. I've got him for his fourth. He has 1 remaining here. A big thanks to our partner NKN Films for their outstanding design on our 2018 basketball schedule poster. Check it out online at foxsports1290am.com, and we'll soon have them at our broadcast. You can stop by and pick one up there as well. If you have any video needs, nknfilms.com is the place to go. Marty will be announcing our Crown Trophy Player of the Game as part of our post-game show. Crown Trophy in People's Plaza is your one-stop shop for trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and Mini Trophy. Visit Crown Trophy in People's Plaza in Newark or online at crowntrophy.com. 53-42, Newark with the lead. Time winding down here, approaching the 1 minute mark of this final and fourth quarter. And Marty, Shannon McCants has called a couple of timeouts to basically tell his team to stop shooting the basketball.
I love the use of the timeouts. And I was going to say, you and I have watched this team for a number of years now. This just feels like a different Newark team. They're much more disciplined. They're much more well-rounded. There's a ton of skill out on the court, but these kids are playing really, really heads-up basketball. So a great job. Tip of the cap to Coach McCants and his staff.
1:30 to play, and Newark's now basically playing keep away, forcing St. George's to foul, and that's exactly what Merle Black does. He's going to send Anthony Earl to the free throw line. Earl is 2 of 3 on the night, or in the afternoon, I should say, from the free throw line. So with 1:22 to play, they'll be fouling Newark from here out the rest of the way. Checking in for St. George's is going to be Blake Bryant, the sophomore. He's going to come in for Merle Black, the senior. So for St. George's, Payton, who's done a really nice job playing with 4 fouls this entire second half. He's on with Rinarelli, Bryant, McCants, and Taylor. First shot is up and good for Anthony Earl. So Earl, who only had 1 point in the first half, has 6 for a total of 7 as Lately checks in for Burton for this final minute and 22
Boy, this
seconds.
Newark team just looks so confident right now. This is a huge, huge feather in the cap for this team. St. George's is a fantastic basketball team, and Newark has simply outplayed them with and without Highland in the lineup.
Payton has the ball, his team down by 13. Rinarelli pump fakes and drives in, puts up a floater that Lately sends to the third row of the Newark bleachers.
John, I cannot believe that this is this kid's first year playing organized basketball. I mean, the way he plays, first of all, he's got great length, but he's got a great head on his shoulders. He moves his feet well. There's nothing gangly about him. He's just done a phenomenal job for this Newark team.
1:05 to play. St. George's fires from two-pointers just inside the side. That was Payton inside the line. Newark comes down with it. Hodges has it. He gets it underneath to Lately, who lays it in.
And that's just a great job by Newark. You take what's given to you lately. It was wide open under the basket. Otherwise, you don't take that shot. So Newark, again, just playing great head-up basketball.
They have a 15-point lead. Rinarelli's floater in close is no good, and then he gets it back but then throws it away. Lately comes up with it, and he is fouled immediately by Taylor. And Ahmad Taylor, I have him down as 4. Lately is going to head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Coach Griffin loved that foul. It was kind of a hug foul, meaning, you know what, the game's out of reach, but I'm going to send you the line anyway, try to prolong this thing. I'm not sure Coach Rod Griffin was a huge fan of that, but it will send the freshman Lately to the line again. And, boy, he's just shown us everything, John. Now, as I say that, he clearly one area he does need to work on is free throws, and that's to be expected, especially a kid in his first year playing basketball, but organized basketball. But with everything we've seen from him with some hard work, I have no question he's going to figure that as a prominent part of his game as well.
Earl checks out. He's going to finish with 8 points, 1.5 above his season average. And it was Javon Brown, the sophomore, who checked in for him. Wiley is also in along with Hodges. Lately's on the free throw line, and freshman Serrano Gill is on the court for Newark. And coming in for Newark is Cameron Noel, and he's going to replace the starter, sophomore Robert Wiley. Just 1 point. And so another thing where making your point, how this was all about defense for Newark, because a lot of their starters did not reach their season average.
They didn't, but they've played phenomenally well on both ends, or the other end of the court on defense. The defense for Newark has just driven this game today. The defense is what keyed this victory.
And Serrano Gill with an offensive rebound on the miss, comes down with it, and a foul on the other side. And I think that was going to be on Rinarelli, and that is going to send Hodges to the free throw line.
And John, before today, I believe, and you and I talked about a couple weeks ago, Chester beat this St. George's team 47-46. I believe that 46 points represents the lowest season total for St. George's this year. And with 31 seconds left, Newark has held them to 42 points.
And it's 58-42 as the second free throw is missed. Under 30 seconds to play. Payton has the ball. He drives up, throws up a wild left-handed shot, air ball, out of bounds, and it's going to belong to Newark as the final subs are checking in. Brittanyham's going to come in for Newark. Mitchell is going to come in along with Black for St. George's. Joey Hodges gets a nice round of applause. He's going to finish with 22 points, I believe. And Newark's got it with 20 seconds left and a 58-42 lead, and I imagine
Coach Griffin gave the back off sign when they inbounded there, which is classy. Just kind of let this. I'm not sure Coach McCants like that.
Now Javon Brown driving for a selfish 2 points, missed it, and coming away with it is St. George's, and a hard foul by Cameron Noel is going to send the St. George's player number 32 to the free throw line with 3.5 seconds left to play. So that's one of those cases where I'm sure Coach McCants will point out to his sophomore, you don't drive the lane with a 16-point lead when the opposing coach has called off the defense.
Exactly. When the other team has raised the white flag, you don't pull a cheap move and try to go in for a layup. I understand you want to get in the scorebook, but there are different ways to do it.
First shot by number 32 is up and good, so it makes it a 58-43 game.
And the mystery man gets into the scorebook for St. George's. Unfortunately, we don't have a number 32 on the varsity roster, and he goes 2 for 2 from the line.
58-44, and that is going to be your final here as the clock ticks down. When we come back, it's the American Spirit Federal Credit postgame show. Your final score here from Newark High, the Yellow Jackets with a big 58-44 win over St. George's. We'll be back with the postgame show right after this.
The wind is howling 34 degrees and it's snowing or raining sideways. And the last time you went out in heavy traffic, several drivers were making funny gestures at you. Aren't you glad you can still get your pet food, supplies, and toys by shopping local at Concord Pets and without going out the door? ConcordPetFoods.com has a huge selection to choose from, and it's so convenient. This time of year, just snuggle up to your pet and order everything with easy shipping and delivery from ConcordPetFoods.com. Or consider the alternative.
Don't miss Macy's 48-hour sale with big savings and limited time specials, like 50 to 60% off men's dress shirts and ties. Take 40% off Kipling Sabian handbags. Make meal prep a breeze with Bella Small Appliances, 60% off. And take 60% off luggage closeouts from Samsonite, Chelsea, Travel Pro, and more. Macy's 48-hour sale ends today. Savings on original and sale prices. Exclusions apply. Macy's Star Rewards now offers benefits everyone can enjoy, no matter how they pay. Sign up for free in store or at Macys.com/Star Rewards.
At Domino's, we're more than pizza, so mix it up with our specialty chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, sandwiches, pastas, medium two-topping pizzas, and more for just $5.99 each, and we'll mix stand-up comedy with a robot.
Stuffed cheesy bread and my act have a lot in common. They're both super cheesy. Tough crowd.
You can also mix it up with Domino's salads, marbled cookie brownie, bread twist, and medium two-topping pizzas. Order any two or more for just $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Bone wings, handmade pan pizzas, and Red Bull pasta will be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
I'm Tiffany Haddish, and I use Groupon so much, they made me the spokesperson. Every day, Groupon helps small businesses by giving them easy-to-use marketing tools so they can engage new customers and bring in new business. But what I think they really mean is that Groupon keeps the door dinging, the cash register ringing, and puts butts in seats.
You know, it's been a pretty successful season with the kids that we have here. The most important thing that I'm worried about is that they're getting better every single day. We played some tough teams early. Unfortunately, one of the best players in the state kind of went out, but I thought we was pretty prepared. I mean, we went to 4 overtimes with them last year, so I feel like had them gotten prepared. So hopefully we can just kind of keep it going.
You know, one of the things I noticed this year, as opposed to last year, you were 5-6 at this point. You were going through a rough stretch. One thing that's different this year, and it's been all the tape we've watched, your defense is playing phenomenally well. And you know, with all due respect to Bones, I think you were going to win this game with or without him. You guys seem to be holding everyone in check. How important is it to get these young guys, especially a guy like Lately, who's in his first year playing organized ball, to play the great defense they're playing right now?
Honestly, I pride myself on team defense. As you see, last year we were a defensive-oriented team, couldn't score that much, but I try to hang my hat on defense. A lot of what I do is a lot of psychological stuff with these kids.
We can
try to make them believe on and then when it works, they think I'm a genius. So I just try my best to teach them the principles on traps and where to rotate, and you know, just every single time they just get better and better each day. Like I said, Lately hasn't played organized ball since 3rd grade.
That's unreal.
So he's learning, he's catching on, and the young guys are catching on. So I'm proud of our team defensively. They keep us in every game. I want to play like Syracuse, 2-3 ugly games. Don't tell nobody I
love
said
it. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Coach, one more question and we'll let you go. You know, you've got one senior on the entire squad, Joey Hodges. He had 24 points today. He kind of took this team under their belt. He's done an excellent job, from what you've told me, from what we've seen, on making sure that when he leaves Newark High School, this next group of kids is going to be well prepared to maybe take your team back to that championship level.
Exactly, because we got some really good young players here. So one thing about him, he's very tough-nosed. He's unorthodox, but he loves to win. He's been playing varsity pretty much since his sophomore year when my son was here. He was a sophomore. So he's seen how things go a little bit. So I'm proud of him. I just want him to kind of keep it up so the next generation can understand. We just want to keep Newark relevant in basketball. You know, I'm an alumni, man.
All right, Coach, we'll let you go with your team. Congratulations on a great win. Coach Shannon McCants,
thank you,
always
Coach.
A pleasure talking to him. Always a big help leading up to our games with stats and anything we need. His Newark team is now 9-3 with the 58-44 victory. St. George's 9-6, and both these teams are going to most likely be heard from again come playoff time. Newark was led by Joey Hodges, 24 points, 9 above his season average. Donald Burton had 10, Camus Lately with 9, Anthony Earl with 8, 2 points apiece for Louis Serrano-Gil, Cameron Noel, and Mackay Brittingham, and 1 point on the board for Robert Wiley, below his average, but he found other ways to contribute. For St. George's, Mike McCants led all scorers with 16. Bones Highland, despite being hobbled for the majority of the game and actually left the game with 6 minutes to play, managed to get 9 points, well below his season average, but clearly his jump shot was affected by whatever ails him. 8 points for Joe Rinarelli, 3 for Ahmad Taylor, and 2 for Jamin Murphy. Your quick thoughts on the game before we go to our final break, Marty.
You know, I just think, again, Newark, the coach said it himself, they hang their hat on their defensive play, and today they used that defense to turn into offensive points. Even with Bones Highland in the game, the defensive game plan, the trapping, the pressure, the moving guys in the directions they want them to go, they use their defense to dictate the pace. And the one thing he said, as opposed to last year, is that they can score on the other end, whether it's Hodges, whether it's Lately down low. They have somebody, Burton, who's been a big presence down low for them. They have guys who can convert on the offensive end of the floor, but you can tell, as he said, using Syracuse as kind of a baseline, they want to hang their hat on defense and then get their points on the offensive side. They're not going to win a lot of high-scoring games, but they will win a lot of games.
Newark jumped out to a 7-point lead, trailed by 1 at the end of the first quarter. It was tied at 28 all at the half, and then Newark took over the lead 40-34 and led the rest of the way to finish up with a 58-44 victory over St. George's. When we come back, we'll announce our Crown Trophy player of the game, tell you where both these teams will play next, and where our broadcast crew will be about 10 days from now. Once again, your final score, Newark High 58, St. George's 44. You're listening to the Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290 and watching the live stream on 302 Sports.
The U.S. Air Force wants you to know there's a new recruiter in your area. He's Technical Sergeant Andrew Bugg, and his office is located at 1050 Justison Street in Wilmington. Stop by and find out about the exciting opportunities waiting for you in today's Air Force.
About me.
Or call Sergeant Bugg at 302-287-9733. This message is brought to you by the United States Air Force.
School bus drivers, custodians, nurses, just a few of the education support professionals who help schools in Delaware run smoothly. We'd like to honor an all-star in education. To award an ESP who's made an impact on your child's life, visit foxsports1290.com and click Contest. The winner will receive an award from Crown Trophy of People's Plaza, plus ticket and gift cards from local sponsors throughout the area. A big congratulations to our most recent winner, Christina Tyndall, bus driver in the Capital School District.
American Spirit Federal Credit Union brings you
Kasasa. What's Kasasa? It's like never getting surprised by an ATM fee. No account fees, no ATM fees, no minimum balance, but Kasasa pays you up to 39 times more interest than those mega banks. Surprised? What are you waiting for?
Ask for free Kasasa checking at American Spirit Federal Credit Union.
It's your money. You earned it, paid it. Now it's tax time. Time to tax slay it. Like our app is an axe. It's simple. The fact is you worked hard the whole year. Now please just lay back as we work hard to make sure the check you get back is a big one. In fact, if it's possible, massive. You deserve it. Use it to play with. Find some hotel to stay at, some poolside to lay at. Your stress tried to slay you. Slay back, lay back, grin. You slayed it. Enjoy it. Win.
Start free today at taxslayer.com.
Welcome back to the American Spirit Federal Credit Union postgame show on Fox Sports 1290 and the iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to Newark High School. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. The Newark Yellow Jackets are going to enjoy the MLK weekend even more with a 58-44 win over St. George's. It's now time to announce our Crown Trophy player of the game. Crown Trophy and People's Plaza is your one-stop shop for trophies, plaques, medals, and so much more. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and home of the Delaware State Championship Trophy and Mini Trophy. Visit Crown Trophy and People's Plaza in Newark or online at crowntrophy.com. Marty, the floor is yours.
Just want to say quickly, we hope Bone Thailand is okay. A huge part of this team and a huge guy in regards to basketball in Delaware in general. Everyone loves to watch Bones play, and hopefully he comes back quick for Newark. Boy, every two guys that really stood out to me, John. Camus lately was just phenomenal. We heard Coach talk about him. We talked about in the pregame his first season of organized basketball, and he is the real deal. As we talked about, he kind of reminds us of a young, he's still young, but Avon Kramer when he was a freshman at Mount Pleasant. He's got all the skills, but the kid that really drives the bus for this Newark team, the kid that makes everything, he touches the ball offensively every time. He's the guy who settles them down. He makes everything go. His senior Joey Hodges, his 24 points today were great. Of the 58 points, I mean, he's rated the 45% mark points for the game, but I thought defensively he played phenomenally well. I talked about during the game 3 or 4 times he took away defensive rebounds from St. George's players and either converted this on his own or he got to the free throw line. So either way you slice it, he made everything work today. Great. He was great on both ends of the floor, and for that reason, Joey Hodges, the senior from Newark, is our Crown Trophy player of the game.
Congratulations, Sergeant Buckle delivered 2 plaques here at Newark High School, one for Hodges to take home, the other one for them to put in the showcase here at school. Joey Hodges, our Crown Trophy player of the game. Both these teams are off until Thursday. St. George's plays at Del Castle. Newark travels to William Penn. Our next broadcast is not this Monday, but the following Monday when we head to Carroll Academy Bears. The Bucks host the St. Mark Spartans. Tip off of that one at 7:15. We'll be on the air at 7 with our Fox Sports 1290 pregame show. That's going to do it for today's broadcast. Thanks to our producer, Ron Vickers, for keeping us up and running on the radio. alongside to the crew of 302 Sports here on site producing the live stream. For Marty Sheehan, I'm Don Buzz. Once again, your final score, Newark 58, St. George's 44. Thanks for tuning in.